I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Marc Raco. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm great. Thank you very much, Angel. I'm very pleased to join you.
Hey, it's a great pleasure. Thanks so much for passing by. Please do tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
I am in New York City.
All right. And which of your talents that you've been operating in is responsible for us connecting at this time?
I believe it may be podcasting. I believe that's what. I'm the head of content and programming for a podcasting network called MouthMedia Network. We have a big focus and expertise in business to business related podcasts that focus on the technology and innovation and business of different lifestyle industries like fashion and beauty, travel, music, food, and so forth.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, you say podcaster, I say family podcaster.
I like it. We're all
Yeah.
part of the same family.
Yeah, most definitely. Podcasters are amazing. I got the opportunity to listen to Fashion is Your Business. Tell us about that podcast, please.
Thank you. So, Fashion is Your Business is one of the first podcasts that we started before we knew that we wanted to be a company and a network focusing on podcasts. Fashion is Your Business is really not about fashion at all. It's really more about where technology and innovation meets business strategy. And we look at things like e-commerce and artificial intelligence and retail and those types of things within the fashion industry. But really, the things that we talk about have very little to do with fashion. They're really something that anyone interested in business and those types of things would find a lot of value in.
Yeah.
The way that the podcast started, which I think is very relevant to the story, is that my two business partners, who are also the co-hosts of this show, Rob Sanchez, who I know you've interviewed before, and Pavan Ball, both had built considerable communities in this particular industry and wanted a chance to sit down and talk with more people and educate people through a podcast. And I happened to meet Rob at a dinner.
Wow.
And we hit it off. And it just so happens that I had done another podcast that had some amount of success called Monkey Radio. And what happened was we sat down and talked, and before we knew it, we were recording a test show, and we were so happy with how it sounded that we decided we should really try. About maybe 6 or 9 months later, we realized that we were so successful that people around the world were paying attention. We decided that we should really put our back into it. And at a certain point in time, we hit number one in the world in our category, and we realized we were onto something, and we needed to build more things like that, more podcasts like that in different industries.
Wow. Talk about snowball.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, who did you learn the skill from? The skill of exactly that you identified, understanding when it's necessary to put your back into it, put more of your back into it.
Well, the skill of learning that's a great question, my friend. It's how I've always been. I was really inspired, both my brother and I, inspired with work ethic by my father. I don't really believe in doing anything that is meaningful unless you're going to do it completely all the way. Because there will always be a part of you that wonders what else could have been possible if I just put that extra amount in. I know that with Rob and Pavan and I, all of us have aspirations of being very, very successful entrepreneurs. And I'm confident that we're making a success of that now, with obviously more room to grow. But the thing is, we just decided that if we were going to spend so much time and energy and talent and social capital with the people that we were, utilizing our relationships with to make this successful, it better be worth something. So we might as well go all the way with it. But as far as podcasting, the talent of podcasting, before I did Monkey Radio, I had done a podcast. In fact, the only radio I'd ever done was in college. I was a newsman for our college radio station. But other than that, I had never really done any type of radio or podcasting. However, I had a lot of work as a filmmaker and in doing media projects. The point is, whether you interview someone for one purpose or you tell stories for another purpose, it's really all the same thing. There's so many things in my life I've done that are just about storytelling, finding a way to put pieces together into a story that matters to people. And I don't really think podcasts are any different. It's just a matter of learning the technology to make sure that it reaches the platforms that people find them on.
Yeah, it's definitely fascinating. And today I spoke with someone from Belgium, and I believe that in the conversation, one of the things that stood out is that one of the differences with podcasting is the value that comes because you get to see the podcaster grow as well.
Interesting.
So it's intriguing, right? So because you have the interview and you have the content and it's being delivered, but it's as though you're getting to travel alongside the growth of the podcaster. And that in itself creates a connectivity to the story, as you just said, right? Which is what you're doing, right? Delivering another story.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm sorry for interrupting, but it's there's really something special about being in somebody's ear every week as a part of their existence that week. You become a ritual for them, something they look forward to, hopefully. And to be able to be a part of the rhythm of someone's life is not something I take lightly. And if they trust us with whatever few number of podcasts they make room for in their life, and you're one of them, I take that opportunity and that responsibility seriously.
Yeah, and I think all podcasters should do that. It's definite. It seemed as though it's the Superman moment, right? With great power comes great responsibility, and it sounds cliche, but definitely it's the truth, right? It's like there is a lot of power to that. Well, Marc, we've definitely blown past our 2 segments. We definitely got caught up there, right? And have fun. But please tell us, where's the best place we can go to connect with what you're doing?
Thank you. The best place to connect is to go to MouthMedia, mouth like your mouth on your face, MouthMedia Network.com, and you can see all of our shows, including the one that I mentioned, Fashion is Your Business, and some other really wonderful shows. We have so many more we'll be adding. There's something for everybody, and you can catch us on social media at MouthMedia Network.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to ask one question because of my observation, right? So Marc Raco,
yes,
and Monkey Radio. Is the MR something that you do often, or did that just happen?
Engel, I must tell you, you are literally the first person to bring that to my attention. I have never thought of that before.
Okay.
And the only reason that it's called Monkey Radio, I'll reveal a little secret here, is that it was designed to be similar to like a morning drive radio program, to be kind of that morning zoo monkey. That was the feeling. But my nickname for my girlfriend is Monkey. And so when I started the show, I had no intention of it being something big. I was just said, hey, I have no business making a podcast. Let me make one. What the heck? Yeah. Then I called it Monkey Radio, and she was my first guest because she's a musician. Oh, wow. And it just turned out that the name worked. Yeah. That's funny. Thank you for pointing that out.
You're welcome. I love it. Well, Marc, hey, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Marc, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is my father standing on the steps up to the door in our living room in our first home that I lived in, teaching me how to whistle.
Wow.
How to communicate.
How old do you think you were?
I don't think I was more than about 3 years old, 4 years old.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
Look, I'm just going to say I think it was because it was a moment of connection between me and my father, and he was passing something tangible along to me that I could always use, and it just kind of, I just have this great memory of him standing there.
Yeah, that's pretty intriguing. Wow. So can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
100%.
Sound wave. And oh, how you have definitely found a way to operate within sound waves, right?
How wise of you. How wise of you. I love that. You're very observant.
Wow.
It really is. And it's funny because I don't want to take, I know we're already past our time here, but the reason I'm in New York City is I'm also a professional actor, and I came to New York to pursue that career further. And that's just storytelling. That's just sharing and transferring through sound waves and through imagery, the stories of others. And whether you're whistling or acting or podcasting, it's an opportunity to share the stories and the values and the perspectives and the lives of others with as wide an audience as you can, whether it's whistling at one person or telling a story to millions.
Yeah. We could go a bit further as well to just expand on, hey, your father taught you this.
Yes.
And now you're so instrumental in helping other people understand what they can do with their sound waves. So it's pretty intriguing how those things connect.
Wow. If I could only do a podcast about whistling, it would be full circle.
Yeah, love it. Hey, I got something. I got something. Was it yesterday? I think. So instead of saying full circle, usually I say boom, right? Which is an acronym for something I usually that I keep to myself, right, close to my heart. But like boomerang, because it needs to come full circle, right? And I believe things come full circle to who you are, who you truly are. Just like the whistler, right? So boomerang.
You have given me something to think about, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
I think my favorite song when I was 12 was probably Heart of Glass by Blondie. And I liked it, honestly, not because of the words or because it was a cool song. I liked it because the instrumentation was so different than a lot of other music, which has always been something that's important to me, is things that stand out and are different, special.
Yeah, I love to connect things too. I love the idea of the song that comes when you hit glass, right? Like the pure song that can come from all sorts of glass, right?
Interesting.
The reverberation, if you would, from glass, the vibration. Like I had one lady on, and she had this glass, this pure crystal glass thing, I think she used to use, and the sound from it was said to be healing. Pretty intriguing stuff. But yeah, the value of a heart of glass, that the song that comes from you is pure, is pretty intriguing as well.
How interesting. And there we go with sound waves again.
Yeah, there we go. Well, Mark, hey, we have arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no. We're going to go pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Mark?
Anytime you're ready. Let's go.
Mark, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
In a way. So I guess given yes or no, I'd say yes. A soft yes.
All right. Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh, unfortunately more.
After having 1,001 conversations, Mark, in 3 months, Rob Sanchez being one of those, right? I came up with a workbook, the name of it being called Yours, which stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And my heart's desire is that as you answer those questions, you uncover your own unique real statement, which I align with your mission. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Marc Raco, what would you say that is?
I would say that I think the phrase I use most often is, why does this exist? And it has to do with the idea that everything that I do is not going to be an accident, but it is something that has purpose and meaning and should have a lasting impact.
I love it. Marc Raco, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I would like to just say that if you have something to say, you should never stop short of saying and expressing yourself, because there are so many ways to do it, podcasts, whistling, or otherwise. And if I can ever be helpful to you in helping to do that, just reach out to us at MouthMedia Network, and I'm always happy to try to see a way we can help.
I love it. Marc Raco, again, great pleasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.